Hey guys, oh hey, it's your girl Sheepy Ali, and I want to talk about high risk pregnancy. And you're like, high risk pregnancy? Why you want to talk about high risk pregnancy? I want to talk about high risk pregnancy because I was high risk and I didn't know I was high risk. Check this out. First of all, my mom had her last baby when she was 43 years old. So when I go to the doctor and they say to me, you're high risk because you're over 35 and I'm only 36, I'm like, yeah, but why? You know, I feel great. I look great. I've had two successful pregnancies before. Why are you telling me I'm high risk? These are the questions that immediately popped into my mind as my OB is telling me that I'm high risk. So let's take it back. So this is what happened. I find out I'm pregnant. I'm living in another city, so I'm not able to go to the doctor, right away. You take the P test at home. You're all excited, like, whoa, I'm pregnant. It's lit. You tell your husband, you tell your bestie, whatever. Right? That happened. Then I go to the doctor. Maybe at I think instead of going at 7 weeks, I went at 9 weeks. And I go to the doctor and she's like, let's do the first trimester screening, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is standard. I'm going to see a little P. It's a zygote, but it's really a little P. It's nothing major. You're going to tell me if my egg and my yolk are attached. You're going to give me my due date. You're going to tell me to take my prenatals, blah, right? Yeah, that all happened. Only when I got home, my doctor called me back and was like, yeah, we missed the spot. And I'm like, you missed the spot. Like, what does that even mean? So she tells me, well, because, we are used to dealing with you and you look so good. Thanks. We overlooked the fact that you're high risk. And I said, why am I high risk? Like, I'm fine. I feel fine. You're high risk because you're over 35. Oh, great. My age matters. My age has never mattered to me. I feel 21. I'm blossoming. I'm good. But you're telling me that because I'm over the age of 35, that my pregnancy is considered high risk. Wow. High risk. Like, those words are like, dun, dun, dun. As soon as you hear it, you're just like, what is that? Isn't my baby going to die? Is my pregnancy going to last? Am I going to have a healthy delivery? You have all these questions. And what it meant for me, being an African-American woman over the age of 35, is just this. They needed to be on it. They had to monitor my pregnancy. In addition to me being high risk, I had a C-section with my first child, and I had a vaginal delivery with my second child, which is considered a VBAC. So they really weren't sure what direction this pregnancy was going to go in, which direction this delivery was going to go in. And so I wanted to come and talk to you ladies about what steps, what precautions you can take when your doctor tells you you're high risk. Number one, don't freak out. Like, it's not the end of the world. First things first, I am a fit fanatic. The best thing that you can do for your baby and your body is to eat right, drink lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water. I can't stress that. And try to work out. If you're not someone who was working out before you were pregnant and you're told you're high risk, you might not want to jump into doing 100 squats a day. But if you are someone who's physically fit, this does not mean that you can't work out. In the first trimester, I would advise for you to just kind of fall back a little bit. Let the embryo implant itself properly before you start a fitness regimen that is just kind of out of control. You know what I mean? So you can work out, but wait until, just do light walking. Maybe lift 3 pounds, for 30 minutes instead of 45 minutes to an hour to start. And then when you hit your second trimester, the baby's secure in there, go ahead and pick back up and do what it is you do. If you're someone who is new to fitness, light walking, 3 pounds, very gentle exercises, perhaps do yoga. That was something that, number one, it kept me grounded, it kept me sane, and it kept me feeling good about myself. And my energy was always up, when I worked out. Next, I want to talk about never, ever, never, ever, never, 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 never go to get a sonogram by yourself. That sounds like, like if you're someone and you're pregnant and you're alone, this happens. There are women who get pregnant and they're out here. It's real. And it's lonely. But try. I don't care if you have to call the mailman. Get somebody to go to that sonogram with you, because that is where they're going to tell you what they're going to tell you about this baby. This is the baby's picture. Snap, snap. Your eye is wrong. Your leg is not right. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get this information by yourself, because the sonographer is not the doctor. The The sonographer is there just to take the pictures. So as you're laying there with tears streaming down your face from whatever news you just received that you didn't want to hear if it's not so good, the sonographer is just like, yeah, someone else is in a couple more minutes. I kind of need you to clear the room. Like, the sonographer is always going to say to you, you should ask the doctor. And rightfully so. They're not licensed to share whatever news they see in these pictures with you. So it's really important, because you'll feel the energy. It'll be like, yay, is this your first? Is this your third? They go to asking you all these questions to, like, you feel that sense of like they're not comfortable and they're not talking to you as much. The mouse is moving around, clicking. You're like, what's going on? I have experience with this. I had, my husband and I had actually 4 pregnancies, not 3. We unfortunately lost our second to what is called a not viable pregnancy. Now, it's kind of a difference in a miscarriage and a pregnancy that's not viable, because from the start, the pregnancy, the fetus never implanted properly. So my yolk sac and the egg didn't merge. They never became one. So in the sonogram, there was no embryo growing in the sac. And so that's called a pregnancy that's not viable. But unfortunately, I needed to go through a D&C. When my husband and I, we were at 7 weeks pregnant, we went to the doctor's office. We're all ready to get our due date and everything. And the sonographer started doing what I just said. She got really quiet. And she started kind of, moving around, taking more pictures than normal. I'm looking at the clock like we've been here for a while. And I knew, in my soul, I knew that something wasn't right. I had been previously spotting, was kind of brown discharge throughout the pregnancy. And, I mean, I never had that happen to me before. So I just thought, oh, the fetus is implanting. And this is, this is the result. This brown ookie stuff. But it wasn't. It was actually never, the pregnancy was never going to mature. And so in that, my husband was really supportive. But like I said, I know that everyone doesn't have that sort of support, but get it where you can. Another thing I want to talk about, trusting your doctor. Having this relationship with your doctor, having a support system is like key to pregnancy. Especially when your pregnancy is high risk. It's like you need to have clear communication with everyone in your life, including and especially your physician. If your OBGYN is like, they're quick with you, you don't feel comfortable asking questions, they don't fully explain everything to you, you need to get a new doctor. This is not the time for you to be timid. This is not the time for you to feel sorry for yourself or expect that they understand that you don't know what's going on in your life. This is a job. You know what I mean? Some of these doctors have been practicing since they were 25 years old and they got out of med school. You know what I mean? So for them, this is another day at the office. For you, this is a lifestyle change, and it's a possible lifestyle alteration. You want to be fully informed. That brings me to my third point. Dr. Google is not your friend. I know, because I do it too. You're going to go to Google. Like, it's just human nature. Like, you pick up your phone and you start typing away, and you're like, why am I spotting? What does this color mean? Has anyone ever been 35 and pregnant before? What's happening? You need to know. The mommy forums are great, but every situation is different. Use the brain of your doctor. Use their academic sense. They know this stuff. Like, they studied it. They live it. They eat it. They breathe it. They love it. If you have a good doctor, this is what they do. This is their thing. This is the U to their tube, okay? They are about it. So you need to put that phone down. Most doctors' offices have the answer machine. This is not the time for you to say, I don't want to be a nuisance. I don't want to bug them. Don't ask questions. Come to YouTube. Because I need you to come to my page. But don't rely on this information only. Call that doctor. Go to the emergency room. When you are high risk pregnant, you need to go to that emergency room whenever you need to go to that emergency room. If you have Medicaid. If you have Medicaid or Marketplace or any of that, go. But if you got a copay, you're going to have a copay. But anyway, back to the point. Don't trust Dr. Google, guys. You're still going to do it. I still do it. But don't rely on it. Don't type in, why am I spotting? And then they say, you're losing the baby. And then you just sit at home and cry. Because that's only stressing yourself and stressing your baby. Everything you feel, the baby feels. From day one, from conception to birth. And even, after. My kids, they still, are you mad? Are you happy? You know, they know you. So just, get the questions properly answered. Okay? That brings me to my fourth point. Delegation at this time in your life is like the number one thing to do. You're saying, somebody is like, what does delegate mean? It just means transfer that energy somewhere else. So for me, it's like I cook a lot for my family, like a lot. And sometimes I would feel tired and stressed and I didn't necessarily feel like cooking and I would still do it. Or, my husband would walk past the mailbox and I know the mailman came because I was sitting in the window watching him. And I'd be like, I need to walk to the mailbox. No, you don't. You don't need to cook. You don't need to walk to the mailbox. You don't need to get out the bed if you're tired. You don't need to go to that doctor's appointment. You don't need to do anything that you just don't feel like doing because you're pregnant and you're high risk. And any and every little thing can and will be a detriment to your unborn baby. The key in high risk pregnancy is two things. One, close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Envision that little baby crying. The very first time you see your baby, either they're looking at you, they've pulled them up, you're looking at their back. That is the moment that you need to hold on to. That is the moment that's the goal in high risk pregnancy, to attach to that baby. Nothing in the 9 months and 2 weeks, 40, 41, who knows, some women have babies at 36 weeks. Nothing is more important than safely delivering your child. If you need to call your husband, if you need to call your mother-in-law, your mother, your sister, your uncle, your cousin, your dog, your 5-year-old, do it. Ask for help. Don't try to be so strong for your family right now. Don't try to complete the assignment in college. You might have to take a hiatus. You might have to go like, this isn't the season for me to win right now. This is the season for my child to win, for my pregnancy to grow and mature in a healthy way. Guys, I know I've gave you an abundance of information, but if you have any questions, please feel free to chat with me. I talk back. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have nothing but time on my hands when my kids are sleeping. I want to talk to you. Hit me up. Thank you so much for watching. And guys, remember, when something feels bad, because it will, turn it around and make something good. Blessings.